Greetings, world, us hairy game lords. This evening, I've been playing this in the palm of your hand. What did we think? Find out. Bearded Lady here, and we got this game courtesy of Hachette Board Games. And this is such a nice game. Such a nice game. If you were to create a game that describes the word lovely, this would be that game. So it is effectively a party game. You can play from 2 to 8 players. You play in teams. And you have a whole load of beautifully drawn memories. Beautifully drawn. So it feels a little bit like Dixit, if you've ever played that. And so you've got the same size kind of cards going on. But whereas in Dixit, it sometimes can feel like a bad trip from drugs. Or at least that's maybe sometimes you think some of the artists may have been taking something. This hasn't got any of that weirdness going on. Instead, it just has beautifully drawn memories. And the idea of the game is that, or the kind of the theme of the game is that a granddad is sharing these memories with his grandchildren. And I just love that. It's so nice. So what happens is, on you go, in your team you'll be dealt a number of memories, 6 memories. And then within the team, somebody will be the granddad who closes their eyes and holds out one's palm of the hand. And the other person will be the child who then uses this sac à magique. And within is a whole array of wonderful objects, and they use these objects onto the palm. Thank you, Hipster King. To act out, if you will, or to what are we calling it? Mime. You're not allowed to say anything. You're not allowed to make any noises, but you create a feeling memory on the hand for the person to try and guess what the memory will be. So you do all of that. That person obviously has their eyes closed. The hand is there.
My eyes are closed.
His eyes are closed. His hand is here. And so you do all of that, and then at the same time, other teams are going through their memories and are picking out memories that they think, what's being acted out there on the hand could fit along with these memories. And so you do 2 memories back to back, and then place the memories on the table. Opposing teams also place down their memories on the table as well. And then the person with their eyes closed opens their eyes and chooses which memories were from or being acted out to the hand. Obviously, if they choose correctly, there are victory points awarded. If they choose wrongly, then the victory points are awarded to the team whose memories that person's gone for. And that's it, really. You just go round until you just do a number of rounds and then see who has the most victory points at the end. Oh, so what did I think to this game? I love it. I absolutely love it. I've played this game first time tonight with the Hairy Game Lords, but I've also played it with sort of as a gateway game with families over the last couple of weekends, and each time we've played it, it's gone down so well. House ruled it a little bit for younger players, so only did 1 memory. But tonight we played the 2 memories thing, and it, again, just works so nicely. Real joy. I'm a sucker for good artwork, and there's good artwork throughout this. The whole kind of feel to it is just nice, really lovely feel to it. And there's a good, solid game in there as well. So yeah, this Hairy Game Lord, big thumbs up. Absolutely loved it. Check it out. Go along to your local board game shop. Ask if they have it. If they don't, say to them, get Hachette Board Games to order it from Hachette Board Games and get involved. Such a nice game.
Oh, this was just such a beautiful, beautiful game. I'll close my eyes just to relive the moments that we've experienced. That was a cat scratching my hand. It's just, like Andrew said, such a beautiful premise. Your little children helping Grandad remember or go back through these memories, just drawing them on his hands as he's got his eyes closed. It's just such a lovely story. But the game itself is just, it's so simple, but just so nice. Loved it with playing this evening. Immediately, I work within education and could see immediately how you could work this into, just developing creativity and imagination. It's kind of got that almost storytelling about it. Not that you're saying anything with your mouth, you're doing it all on the palm of your hand, but that kind of creating that image. Because a lot of these, just try and find a few. A lot of these images, he says, looking for. Right, so I had this one was one of the memories I had to do for Andrew, and like, you have to create movement for that scene to make sense. But you've only got such a small area, and trying to create that movement and create something that makes sense requires a lot of imagination. And then on the flip side, when you're playing as Grandad and you've got your eyes closed, I found myself with just the sort of slightest of things being touched and moved on your hand, creating pictures in your head, trying to make sense, even though before you'd even seen the images. Then you see the images, and you're then, sometimes with all these kind of games, there are rounds when it is really, really easy, just because the team who've got to pick to try and confuse you with other memories. Sometimes you've just got a really pat hand, and there is nothing there that can kind of resemble anything like. But even with, we had a few where we had a little element of it still that could potentially have thrown a spanner in works and just make the guesses have to think a little bit. It's just so nice. And as I say, I could see that working clearly with families all round the table, bringing in your children to play games with you, but also, in a school, working with, I could see this working really well with young people who are struggling. The whole sensory element of it is, for a lot of young people is really important. So I think it's got so many wonderful potential uses. I know you read on the forums that there are lots of people who work in education and teachers doing board game clubs and something. This for children, working with children with special needs, would be really, I think, would be there's so many possible things you could do with this game. It's an absolute peach of just something so different as well. As if you need to know, a definite double thumbs up from this Hairy Game Lord. A great game. Just loved it.
Slightly Bearded James here. Right, first and foremost, like and subscribe because we love it when you do that. So, in the palm of your hand. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad that Andrew brought this one out. Thank you, Andrew. Hachette Games Hachette. It's French. Hachette Games have done a right trick picking up this Le Boîte de Jeux, the box of games. I love it. Now, this game is such a joy to play. I think the word that we landed on was wholesome. Like, Dixit is weird, and you got these party games where you kind of got all this kind of weird stuff going on. But like this one, it's a really nice story with the granddad and the rediscovering the memories, and like it just pulls on heartstrings. It's really nice. And as you play it, there's this kind of weird kind of like, I don't know, almost tension as it comes to your go, because we paired up, and so we had Andrew and Pete and me and Martin, and as you get into your go, like you're kind of like, ooh, when I'm the granddad, I don't want to stuff it up, because like everyone's looking at you and you've got your hands like this, or maybe you get your hand like this because Martin wants your hand up like that, or maybe Martin wants your hand like this. And then they do stuff to your hand, and they're not allowed to touch your hand. But get away from me, you guys. But you've got this kind of feeling of pressure, and I'm like, but at the same time, you come out the other side, and you're like, it's kind of like knowing and relief, because you can feel the story that the other person's telling. You can feel like Martin at one point made a scratch card on my hand. He laid down the leaf on top, and then he used, I'm guessing he used this, and he scratched off some different things. What did you use?
I used the spinning top.
Use the spinning top, of
I
course.
should have used the coin.
I use that.
Oh, the coin.
Oh, I should use the coin.
Great.
The coin, by the way, if you like nice components, these are just beautiful. This is like lovely and weighty. And there's some like great kind of raspy things, and there's one of these you can stick to the person's hand, and loads of stuff going on. But yeah, so you've got you've got all of these kind of like feelings in your hand, and it does tell a story. When you open your eyes and you can see, in our case it was 4 cards out in front of you, you're like, yeah, I do remember that. Like, even though it was like, I don't know, a lot of stuff was going on, a lot of laughs and all that kind of stuff, but you do kind of have this feeling of recollection, which is really nice. It's almost a relief, because like I don't know, I was a little nervous that I was just going to stuff it up for me and Martin's team, but I didn't. And then when you're the child and you've got your hand and you're looking through and you're like, ooh, I could do this for this one, or I could do this for this one. It's great for getting your imagination to come to life, because you think, what could I do to tell this story? This game is massively innovative. It is different from, I don't know, anything I've played, really. I don't think I've ever played anything where I've done anything to someone's hand like this. But anyway, you should definitely check this one out. It's great for gamers, great for families. It's just all around great, and it plays from 2 to 8, which is great, and it rhymes.
Hi Martin here, been playing this in the palm of your hand. Oh my days, such an amazing game. Honestly, never played anything like it before. Super simple, like picking it up on your first go. Amazing, just honestly amazing. Good getting your imagination going. Good for a couple of little rude jokes. Always good. One of the things that we didn't play with is these expert cards.
It's too scary.
Is that now these put an amazing twist in it. So like this one, you can only use these items, or you can only touch this part of the person's hand, or this way. Yeah, some like you can't use some items and everything. So it does put a great challenge on it if you're finding it too easy. Because interestingly enough, out of all the ones that we did, none of us got it wrong at all. Which I don't know whether it says if we are just expert gamers or something, but who knows. But definitely get involved. Amazing game. You'll never play anything like it. Do it.
What did you feel in the palm of your hand, bitch? We have to keep on reminding Pete to look at the damn camera whenever like you're editing.
You move the chair,
I'm
we'll
like,
have to start that video
from
again.
that bit there, you can't.
Gonna slouch a little bit.
Yeah, that's good.